What is going on, internet world? My name is Tommy. You probably know me as Rivet, and I'm your coach of the Atlanta Braviaries, the highest flying fly-second team on YouTube. And we are here today with our Week 3 battle of the PCC against the WindowWasher and the Montreal Habsols. It's going to be an awesome match. Welcome to the workshop. Alrighty guys, we are here breaking down our matchup for our Week 3 battle of the PCC against the WindowWasher and the Montreal Habsols. He's got a really tough team, but I think we have a decent squad to take him on this week. Little backstory, this is one of my most feared opponents. Washer has destroyed me on 2 occasions. He ruined my otherwise perfect season in the first season of this, and he 6-0'd me both times in very convincing fashion. He's just an absolute beast, and I am incredibly scared. I wish I could say I was at all confident going into this match, but his team is rough. I don't love my matchup, and I think he's got me pretty figured out. So hopefully this is going to go okay. But with all that said, let's hop into this team breakdown. His first Pokemon is Mega Scizor, an incredibly bulky steel and bug type with the Technician ability. It's a fantastic offensive and defensive piece with amazing stats. It's got 150 attack, 140 defense, 100 special defense with 75 speed. It can Bullet Punch with Technician Priority, which is incredibly scary. And it gets other solid moves such as Knockoff, Bug Bite, Iron Head. It can Roost for longevity, it can defog hazards away, it can U-turn around and just be annoying. It's just so incredibly bulky and it does so many things in this match. So in this match, I'd probably expect a couple of different things. I could either see just a specially defensive piece to try to take on some of my mons. I could see just a Swords Dancing set, which could be really scary, with something like Superpower to hit through Ferrothorn. I could see, just defensive Roosting Pivot. I could see a whole bunch of stuff. Definitely expecting Mega Scizor, as my fire type is Blissey, and he's got a couple of reliable checks to it on this team. So I'm definitely expecting Mega Scizor. It's going to be a hassle, but I think I have the tools to manage it properly. Next up is Gliscor, an incredibly bulky, ground and flying type with the Poison Heal ability. It's incredibly tough to take down and has fantastic longevity with a combination of Poison Heal and Roost. It can Swords Dance up and hit mons incredibly hard with moves like Earthquake, Facade, Stone Edge. It can knock off for utility, it can U-turn around, it can set stealth rocks, and it can remove them with defog as well. Definitely expecting Gliscor again. This thing shuts down a number of things on my team, such as my Flygon. It sets up all over Sylveon. It can come in on Ferrothorn relatively easily and sub up so I can't set seeds. It does a whole bunch of stuff. I think I have a couple pieces to take on Gliscor, but it's definitely going to be really tough. I can't let it set up all over me, and I have to try to manage its longevity as best I can. Next up is Blissey, an incredibly bulky normal type with base 255 HP and very solid special bulk. It's a great pivot with teleport. It can set stealth rocks, it can thunder wave stuff, it can soft bolt for recovery. It does have a pretty solid move pool as well with base 75 special attack, I think. So Blissey, I'm horrible at fighting Blissey. The last time Washer and I faced, he had a Blissey as well, and that thing was a massive problem for me. I have a couple tools to try to take on Blissey, but I'm still very, very scared of it. I think he needs to bring Thunder Wave, Soft Bolt, and Teleport. I'm hoping he only brings one attacking move, and I'm hoping that move is Seismic Toss. I'm really hoping he doesn't run Shadow Ball. As you see, a large part of my strategy today would go off way better if he doesn't have Shadow Ball, but definitely still expecting him to, just because I think it's a necessary bring. Next up is Mamoswine, an incredibly offensive wall breaker, a grounded ice type with a thick fat ability. It hits incredibly hard with base 130 attack and phenomenal dual stab and Earthquake and Icicle Crash. It also gets other good moves such as Ice Shard for priority, Knockoff, and Superpower for added coverage. It can set Stealth Rocks, and it gets a solid Assault Vest user as well, as it does have good HP and pretty solid natural bulk, along with a good defensive typing thanks to its thick fat ability. Definitely expecting Mamoswine this week. On paper, it just wins every single matchup, and it could be a bunch of different sets this week. Choice Band or Life Orb is probably what I'm expecting. A Life Orb set is more likely, I think, just because I do have a bunch of Levitators on this team. However, I could also totally see a Choice Scarf set to try to surprise something like Tornadus or Blissey, or I could absolutely see an Assault Vest set as well to try to lull me into a false sense of security, maybe thinking I can kill it with something like Blissey or Starmie, and him being able to pick it off with something like the Earthquake. So definitely scared of Mamoswine this week. It's an absolute hassle prepping for it. Hopefully I can manage it the best I can. Like I said, I do have a couple Levitators, and I have a relatively kind of okay switch in Ferrothorn depending on what set he is, so hopefully I can manage it. Next up is Raikou, an incredibly potent Calm Mind threat with the Pressure ability. It's got a great move pool, stuff like Thunderbolt, Scald, and Force Sphere. It can Volt Switch around, it can set up subs and start Calm Minding. It can do a whole bunch of stuff. I don't expect a sub Calm Mind set this week. If he does, I don't think it'll be super duper effective. I think he definitely needs Thunderbolt and Force Sphere. I could also definitely see Scald as well to try to take on Blissey, just hit that a little bit harder. So I could see a Calm Mind 3 attacks, or maybe just sub 3 attacks to dissuade some of my other pivoting options like Torn and Electros. So definitely worried about Raikou this week. Next up is Crobat, a very versatile poison and flying type with an amazing speed tier at base 130, and can do a whole bunch of things very, very well. It's a very solid physical pivot with moves like Brave Bird. It can U-turn around. It can also run special sets incredibly well with Nasty Plot and its great speed. And it does get solid moves such as Hurricane, Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, and Heat Wave. It can Roost for longevity. It can defog hazards away. It also has the Infiltrator ability, letting it bypass substitutes on a number of my mons that I could try to set up. So definitely expecting Crobat this week. I think it does a lot of things for him. It removes hazards from Ferrothorn pretty well. It can dissuade Ferrothorn with something like a big Heat Wave. So I'm probably expecting just a mixed pivoting set this week. Something like Brave Bird, Heat Wave, U-turn, maybe defog, maybe Roost, something of the sort. Next up is Tentacruel, a very cool and bulky water and poison type with the Liquid Ooze ability. It can set Toxic Spikes and remove stuff with Rapid Spin. It's a pretty solid Scald Spammer. It does get a decent move pool as well with other moves such as Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, and Dazzling Gleam. It can be pretty offensive. It can also be a good just defensive piece. And with Rapid Spin, it can boost up its speed and try to be a little bit threatening. I could maybe see Tentacruel coming. I think of the poison types, I think that Crobat's a little bit better because I don't think that Toxic Spikes is a super viable option this week just because Scizor and Blissey and Gliscor don't care whatsoever. So I don't think he needs to bring the grounded poison. I could see it just for a switch in on Ferrothorn just because I won't be able to set Leaf Seeds just because of Liquid Ooze. But I think that he's got a couple other things that are pretty solid to switch into Ferrothorn as well, such as that Mega Scizor and that Gliscor. So I think Crobat's probably a little bit more likely, but if I do see Tentacruel, I have the pieces for it, I believe. Next up is Comfey, one of the mons that Washer has wiped me with. He swept me with Comfey last time we played. I don't think Comfey comes in this match just because I have a number of things that take it on, but nonetheless, it's an incredibly threatening fairy type with the Triage ability. Draining Kisses and Giga Drains have added priority, as do moves such as Synthesis. It can set Leaf Seeds, it can U-turn around, it can Aromatherapy to heal up the team, and it can defog hazards away as well. Don't think it comes just because I have a number of things that are completely free on it. It can't really touch Ferrothorn at all, and it'll take a bunch from something like Iron Barbs if it wants to Draining Kiss into me. It can't do a whole lot to Torn as well. Blacephalon can try to take it on pretty okay, so I don't think it has the best matchup, and I definitely think there's other things on this team that he will bring. Next up is Hitmonlee, an incredibly threatening fighting type with the Reckless and Unburdened abilities. It's got a very strong attack stat at base 120, and moves like High Jump Kicker, Close Combat, Stone Edge, Knockoff, Ice Punch. They just halt it incredibly hard. It can run a variety of sets. It can just be like Choice Band with Reckless, High Jump Kick, and just absolutely mash stuff. You can also run Unburdened sets with something like Concursion, as you'll see next, or something like Fake Out. I'm very scared of a Fake Out normal gem set. I think that kind of bodies me in the late game, just like Fake Out, Close Combat, Knockoff, and Stone Edge. That just kind of mauls me. I don't have a lot that deals with that in the late game, so I'm praying he doesn't bring Hitmonlee. I think he needs some other stuff on this team, and I think that things are more threatening on an offensive presence like that Mammoth Swine. But if it does come, I think I have the tools for it, but it's definitely going to be very scary. Next up, like I said, is Pincurchin, a pretty cool and bulky electric type with the Electric Surge ability. It can do a whole bunch of things pretty well. It gets Rising Voltage, which in combination with Electric Terrain makes it an incredibly strong wall breaker. It does get some other solid moves such as Scald on the special side, and on the physical side it can Zing Zap, it can Liquidation, it can Poison Jab. It can also set Toxic Spikes and Spikes, which is pretty cool, and do some other stuff like Memento to set up some other threats in its team. Probably not expecting Pincurchin this week. I have a whole bunch of things that switch into it fairly comfortably, such as Electros and Flygon. They won't be taking anything from that thing, and it can't do a whole lot in return. And then last but not least is Pyukumuku, an incredibly bulky, but honestly somewhat predictable water type with the Innards Out and Unaware abilities. I really hope Pyukumuku doesn't come. I think it's kind of okay in this matchup, but it can do a couple different things. It obviously can't really hurt me, but it can Toxic, it can Recover, it can Soak to get rid of the Steel type on Ferrothorn. It can do a whole bunch of things. Obviously, Taunt shuts it down pretty hard, but if he like Toxics something before I can get into Taunt it, and he can just start recovering up and wearing me down. With the Unaware ability, I can't set up all over it, so it can just kind of sit there and Toxic stall. I really hope Pyukumuku doesn't come. If it does, I'll be incredibly sad, because that's just going to make the battle really just boring and also incredibly difficult for me, so I'm really hoping that doesn't come. But with all that said, let's hop into what I'm bringing this week. Leading us off, we are rocking Revelation 19 Big Tornadus Therian, coming back this week with a heavy-duty boots regenerator set with Heat Wave, Icy Wind, U-turn, and Taunt. 144 in HP, 156 in special attack, and then 208 in speed with a timid nature. My speed investment lets me outspeed max speed Raikou. My special attack investment gives me a pretty much guaranteed 2-shot on fully specially defensive Gliscor with Icy Wind, and then just the rest thrown into HP to give myself a little bit more bulk. This is a pretty good answer to come in against a lot of things. It can come in against Gliscor fairly easily. A Facade wouldn't do too much. It only does, around like 30, mixed 30%. I can taunt it to stop from doing stuff. Icy Wind does a whole done. Heat Wave is there for that Mega Scizor, obviously. I can also taunt Blissey fairly free of charge. A Seismic Toss wouldn't do a whole lot. I can taunt him to stop him from like teleporting out or something of the sort to force him to Seismic Toss. I can get into something else. and then U-turn is just for pivoting around this team. Really need Rev to just, keep those things in check and just pivot around this team, get me into my bigger threats, because breaking this team is an absolute, just crucial piece this week. I cannot let this team sit all over me, because that will bring me into a stall battle that I will lose. My team is not set up for something of that nature, so I have to get on the board fast, and I have to manage the longevity of this team. Otherwise, I'm going to be in a really rough spot. Next up, after a phenomenal debut, Disco Daddy-O is coming back this week with a leftovers set with the Beast Boost ability, Flamethrower, Psyshock, Calm Mind, and Substitute. 56 in HP, 252 in special attack, and then 200 in speed with the Timid Nature. This lets me outspeed fully invested Comfey. Daddy-O is an absolutely crucial piece this week. If that Blissey does not have Shadow Ball, which I'm praying he doesn't, I can set up all over that thing, and he does not have a whole lot that wants to take on Daddy-O. The only thing that can take on Daddy-O is Pyukumuku, and that'll force us into a stall war, because he won't be able to touch me if I have a substitute up. I won't be able to touch him because, Flamethrower is not doing anything. I can't set up on him with Calm Mind. He could be innards out, which could be cool. That would let me set up all over him. But otherwise, if Pyukumuku's not there and that Blissey's not rocking Shadow Ball, it probably will, just because this set is pretty free this week. But otherwise, it can set up alongside Raikou. A Scald would do a decent chunk, but a +1 Flamethrower is doing a good chunk to Raikou as well. It obviously mashes Mega Scizor. I am so frail that something like a Bullet Punch still does around 40%, which is kind of rough. But after a Calm Mind or maybe a Beast Boost, I'm bodying pretty much everything on this team. Psyshock does a whole bunch to Blissey after a Calm Mind. It also hits Tentacruel incredibly hard, so I do have to watch out for Infiltrator Crobat. That's definitely a possibility. If he teleports out with Blissey and he gets into Infiltrator Crobat, he can threaten me really hard. I obviously won't be able to outspeed him, and he can just do a whole bunch of work from there. So I'm definitely worried about Blissey having Shadow Ball or Infiltrator Crobat. I have to keep those things in mind, but hopefully Daddy-O should be able to do some work. I think maybe he'll think I'm like a trick set going into Blissey, because that's fairly free, and I don't think he'll switch into it immediately, maybe just to scout for that. So maybe that'll give me an opportunity to set up. So I'm really liking Daddy-O. I hope it puts in work. He's such a beast, and he did such a great job last week, so I'm really hoping he works. Next up, we are rocking Cafe au Lait, the Ferrothorn this week with the leftovers and Iron Barbs ability, Gyro Ball, Body Press, Leech Seed, and Protect. 248 in HP, 252 in defense with the Relaxed Nature, and then 8 in special defense. This is my primary switch into Mamoswine. I don't really have anything that deals with Mamoswine. It's just so strong on paper, but Cafe is my best blanket switch into it. With my defense investment in the combination of Protect and Leftovers, I can always take 2 Adamant Choice Banded Earthquakes, and then Gyro Ball just straight one-shots because I'm Relaxed Nature and I have no speed IVs. So this is hitting pretty much everything. If Crobat wants to come in and try to threaten me, it's going to take a lot. Same with Raikou. If Raikou wants to do that, it'll also take a lot. If he doesn't bring Tentacruel, then I can Leech Seed into some stuff, try to get some big health back. Against something like Blissey, if I can set some seeds, I'm going to get a shit ton of health back because Blissey's HP is so high. I'll probably be getting a quarter of my health back every single time. And then just, Body Press is there for that Blissey. It also hits Mega Scizor harder than Gyro Ball would, although I'm not going to be doing a whole lot. And this is kind of set up fodder for Scizor, especially if he's got superpower. So I can't let that happen. I'll have to try to pivot into something like Rev to put on some pressure. Next up, we are rocking Ruby Rose the Starmie. Ruby coming back this week with a Life Orb set with the Natural Cure ability, Surf, Psyshock, Flip, Turn, and Recover. Max special attack, max speed with the Timid Nature. This lets me outspeed fully invested Raikou. This is a pretty big key this week. Again, I have another Psyshock user to try to break down that Blissey as best I can. This also hits Raikou pretty hard. It also hits Tentacruel. Surf is there for Gliscor, as this is one of my best ways to kill Gliscor. I have Flip Turn for Blissey coming in. I can try to pivot around. And I also have Recover to offset some Life Orb damage and also just let me take some Blissey hits like Seismic Tosses or whatever. If he doesn't have Shadow Ball, again, this is a pretty good answer to coming against Blissey. I can come in, absorb my status with Natural Cure when I pivot out. I can Recover up, Flip Turn around, Psyshock, threaten him pretty good. He knows that I won't be able to touch him with Starmie, as even like a Life Orb Psyshock is not doing a lot. It's doing like 30%. I could maybe feign I'm going to start Meteor Beaming and doing some stuff, but in the long run, Starmie is just not doing enough damage. So this is a pretty good option to come in, absorb status, pivot out, try to get me into something a la Cafe or Kial, as you'll see in the next. So I'm really liking Ruby this week. I got to make sure that I can keep that Gliscor in check and that Tentacruel as well if it comes. Next up, like I just said, we are rocking Kial the Hitmontop. Kial running an offensive set this week with Black Belt and the Technician ability, Close Combat, Triple Axle, Mach Punch, and Rapid Spin. 252 in attack with the Adamant Nature, 212 in speed, and then 40 in HP. My attack investment, I'm trying to hit stuff as hard as possible, and my speed investment lets me outspeed Gliscor with 8 speed EVs. Close Combat one-shots Blissey. If for some reason he stays in, it'll obviously obliterate that thing. Triple Axle is there for Gliscor. Again, it just obliterates Gliscor. If he's got defense investment, I still don't think there's a chance he lives. Mega Scizor can come in on this thing every single time. A close combat is only doing like 35% or something stupid like that, just because Mega Scizor is so bulky. And then I've got Mach Punch on there as well. Mach Punch is primarily there for Mamoswine. If he's a Choice Scarf Mamoswine, or if he's like banned offensive, I'll force him to click Ice Shard or something of the sort, because otherwise Mach Punch would do a lot. It would do around 70% minimum, and I don't think he'll want to take that. I can also try to Mach Punch that Hitmonlee if he sets up with White Herb or something like that. Again, I'm not super strong, but Hitmonlee's physical defense is pretty trash, so I can hopefully try to force him out. If I get a Rapid Spin up, I can also put on some pressure against stuff like, you know, Mamoswine or Raikou just with close combat as well, because they won't want to take those moves. So really counting on Kial to be a wall-breaking piece this week. Hopefully that Scizor can get it chipped down enough where Kial can just take it out with two close combats. But honestly, this thing is mostly here for Gliscor and Blissey. I have to be able to promote some pressure against those things so they just can't run amok, because otherwise my team is going to not fare very well. And then last but not least, we're bringing Zigglorox the Electric again this week with the Leftover set and the Levitate ability. Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Drain Punch, and U-Turn. 248 in HP, 60 in defense, and then 200 in special defense with the Sassy Nature. My defense investment guarantees a 4-shot after leftovers from an uninvested Gliscor Facade, so I can pivot out on that thing. I can kind of feign that I've got maybe Aqua Tail or something to put on some pressure, but otherwise my moves kind of hit everything on this team. Thunderbolt is good for hitting that Pyukumuku. It also hits that Crobat. This is one of my best answers to coming against Crobat. An offensive set won't do a whole lot. U-turns don't do a decent chunk. And leftovers are solid for some recovery, and a nasty bat set doesn't do a whole lot either. Flamethrower is there for that Mega Scizor. I don't want to stay in for like a U-turn or something like that. That does a lot. It does around 40%. And I need this thing around to try to take on that Crobat. Drain Punch is there for just getting recovery back. It also hits Blissey as hard as possible, and then U-turn is there for pivoting around. This is one of my better ways to come in against Raikou. I can't do a whole lot. I can try to U-turn around. I can try to like Drain Punch and break sub and do some stuff so that he just can't Calm Mind all over my face. But otherwise, this is also just there for Pincurchin. This just has to come. I needed a Levitator because if he brought Rising Voltage on Pincurchin or Raikou and I didn't have an answer for it, I would just lose. So I kind of have to bring one of these, but it does some good for work for this team. It pivots around that Gliscor. It lets me try to get into Tornadus a little bit because it just is a slow pivot. I obviously can't slow pivot on Blissey if he teleports out. That's teleport, but I'm really liking Ziggy this week. I hope he can do some good work for me. So that is the team we are rocking with for this match. This is going to be incredibly tough. I'm not very confident. Washer's an incredible battler, and he's kind of whooped me in the past. I haven't played him since. He's just kind of destroyed me twice, and then it's been probably around a year. So this is going to be really tough. I'm not confident. But with all that said, let's hop into the battle. Alrighty, guys, we're about to hop into this Week 3 match of the PCC against the WindowWasher and the Montreal Habsols. You can see the 6 I expect them to bring up on the screen. Mega Scizor, Gliscor, Blissey, Mamoswine, Raikou, and that Crobat. I could definitely see a couple other things in there. Possibly that Pyukumuku or that Hitmonlee or possibly that Tentacle as well. But you've seen the 6 I am bringing and why I am bringing them. If you haven't, go check out the Teambuilder. But with all that out of the way, let's hop into this match. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly okay. I got it right. No Hitmonlee is fantastic. Also, no Pyukumuku just makes me very happy. Oh, I'm so very scared. I absolutely hate so much of this team. Mamoswine absolutely terrifies me. Raikou terrifies me. Scizor terrifies me. I hate Blissey. Alright, I'm so very scared, but I'm going to give it my best shot. The primary goal is to figure out what each of these mons are because they could be running a billion different things, and I have no clue from Team Preview. So, what do I want to do? He could lead Crobat to pivot. He could lead Scizor to pivot. He could lead Mamo to body mirror set rocks. He could lead pretty much everything on this team. Ziggy is not the worst lead in the world. It matches up against everything. Fairly okay. I can U-turn out on a bunch of stuff. This is going to be so tough. I don't hate leading Ziggy. Ziggy matches up kind of okay. If I were to bet, he probably leads Mamoswine or Mega Scizor. So maybe I want to lead Pharaoh and feign like I've got hazards. I obviously don't. But Pharaoh matches up kind of... I don't want to lead Pharaoh because if he leads Crobat and he's Nasty Bat, then I'm in trouble. I could also lead Kial. Kial doesn't match up very well. I can also lead Rev, but that's a pretty obvious lead. And if he were to be like something like Scarf Raikou or Scarf Mamoswine, I don't like that. I'm going to lead Ziggy. It's one of my least... He is going to lead Mamo. So I have a couple options here. I can stay in and Drain Punch Scout Investment, or I can U-turn out. I mean, I'm not going to be doing a whole lot, but let's call it something. Alright, Choice Banded Icicle Crash does 80% if he's Adamant Choice Band. If he's Life Orb, it still does so much. Drain Punch does barely anything. I can hard go into Pharaoh. that might be a little safer because he can just go for Icicle Crash here and hit something very hard. And it would most likely be Pharaoh. But I want to keep Ziggy as healthy as possible because I like this for just pivoting around. I need this to try to switch into Raikou and Crobat as well. So I'm just going to go hard into Pharaoh and try to take a hit. Oh, he pivots out into Raikou? Okay. I can do a couple of different things here. I wonder why he did that. Did he expect me to Drain Punch? Or just... Or maybe he was just going to try to set up over Eel. If this Raikou... Again, I don't know what Raikou is. He's definitely got Aura Sphere. There's no way he doesn't. Aura Sphere would do a lot. So I'm going to go... I mean, Body Press would break sub. That's the other thing. I don't want this thing to get a sub up for free. But Ziggy should probably be able to break sub, and he takes a lot less than Pharaoh would. So I'm going to go back into Ziggy. And if he sets up sub up like Drain Punch, he's just going to Volt Switch. Okay. It did 12 to Ziggy. I've seen nothing. But that was a min roll on something not boosted. So he's either like a sub leftover set with Volt Switch. Alright, he's going to go into Gliscor. I'm just going to U-turn. He's either going to sub here or he can set rocks. My play is to pivot into Torn. Because he shouldn't be able to do a whole lot to me. He can Facade. It won't do that much. But I'd rather get Torn on a fresh switch in or just get the slow pivot if he goes for U-turn. But this is not an ideal start. I know a little bit of what that Raikou is. I don't know why he switched out Mammoth. I really don't. Because he had a free hit on something. My Ice Resist is Starmie, and that's not taking a knockoff or an Earthquake. I mean, Blacephalon too, but yeah, he's definitely not taking an EQ. But hopefully, I can try to get Kial or Torn on the field here. He's going to go back into Raikou. 24. That did a decent chunk. Alright, that was like a mid-roll on no bulk, it looks like. So I have a couple different options here. I can go, I'm not going to go into Disco, because he's definitely got either Shadow Ball or Scald. He Volt Switched on Pharaoh, which leads me to believe that he doesn't have Aura, or he probably expected me to switch his Aura Sphere. I can go into Kial and click Close Combat. That'll get him into Scizor, but he's base Scizor right now, and I can also calc some investment. So let's see how much he would do. He could also have extra Sensory, but I doubt it. Thunderbolt does an ass ton to Kial. But Close Combat nearly kill. Close Combat will kill, though. And I don't have anything else I want to go into, so I'm going to go into Kial. If he Volt Switches out, it'll do like 40%-ish. And this will get him into Crobat. I can make a prediction as well. I can go for Triple Axle instead. On Gliscor or Crobat coming out. The question is, do I want to do that? I think I do, because a Triple Axle, if I hit all three into a Mach Punch, will totally kill. If Scizor comes out, he's base Scizor. He will take a lot. He will take 60% minimum. Ziggy is still so free. I'm going to click CC. I'm not going to play around. That's the thing, though, because everything on this team gets hit very hard by either Axel or CC. I just want to get this prediction right. I can also just go for Rapid Spin and try to speed boost up. I don't have enough speed to outspeed max speed Raikou with Kial after a Rapid Spin because I wanted that. I wanted the extra damage from Adamant. I really don't think you're going to stay in here. You're just definitely going to Volt Switch, but into Crobat. You know what? I'm going to click CC. It hits everything pretty hard. If Crobat comes in, I go into Electros. If Gliscor comes in, I'm going to click Triple Axle. I have a good amount of speed on here, unless you're rocking a ton of speed. But then if Kial goes down, though, I'll probably lose to Blissey. But I'm just going to fire off the CC. Like, Scizor can come out, and then he can just clap me with a Bullet Punch, especially after a Volt Switch, because I'll be at -1. So Scizor will come in, he'll be able to roost. I'll have to go into Pharaoh. I'll try to set seeds or something, but if I were to bet, that's his play. Well, let's just click CC and see what happens. Because he knows I've got Axle. He's not going to go into Crobat or Gliscor. He's gonna. I think he must just have to go into Scizor. Now there's the Volt Switch, 42. Okay. That was like a max roll, I think. But whatever, what are you going to do? Scizor comes out, yeah. 62. Okay. I got to go into Cafe. I can also go into Rev and Pressure. I'm going to do that instead because I can pivot or threaten with Heat Wave. But he's going to be able to Mega and Roost. Because a Bullet Punch from this range would absolutely kill me. Alright, Rev's going to come out here. He's going to Mega Evolve. And yeah. Alright, well, you know I've got Heat Wave. If you stay in, I'll be surprised. I'm just going to U-turn. Yeah, Blissey comes out. I got a crit. Alright, here's the situation. I can go into Disco and prove, or make you show me that you don't have the move, don't have Shadow Ball. I can also go back into Kyall. Then he can just go into Scizor. I can pivot back into Rev, but then this thing comes out again. I can also go into Ziggy and click Drain Punch. Or I can go into Cafe and click Body Press. Body Press does like half. How does that do so little? I'm max defense. It's a Blissey. It's got 10 base defense. How does it do half? I can't go back into Kyall because Mega Scizor just comes back out and I can't touch that thing. I would have to pivot. Like, I would have to double back out into like Ziggy maybe and go for Drain Punch. If I go into Ziggy, he'll go into Gliscor. Or I bet he'll just soft willed up first and see what I have for him. Then he'll teleport. But Kyall is not the play because Scizor is so healthy. But that Mega Scizor, he's definitely Spadef. Or he's offensive, like attack investment. But he's max HP, no defense. But Kyall will die to a Bullet Punch. His CC might kill 2 of them, but I would die, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to go into Cafe. You know I've got Body Press, these leftovers. You know I've got Body Press. So, the question is, what do you do? I don't think you'll teleport because I know you've got Body Press, and if you get weakened too much, you're in trouble. So I'm going to set Leech Seed on the hard switch. If you, like, Flamethrower me or something like that, I will literally weep. I mean, or I could go for Body Press and pivot. Let's do that. Sets Rocks. 49. Okay. He's going to switch out this time. I'm going to set Leech Seed. Alright, those rocks I can get rid of with Kyall later. But seeing Stealth Rock is very interesting. Which means you don't have one of the moves I think you need to have. Which increases the likelihood that you don't have Shadow. Which means all I have to do is try to handle that Crobat. But I still have not seen it. I need to see the rest of this thing. There's Soft Boiled. I'm going to set Seeds. Nothing. I can go for Body Press again. You're probably just going to hard switch into something. I can set Seeds again. Or I can just go for Body Press. Yeah, let's go. He's going to go into Scizor again. 22. I've only seen Roost. If you start setting up, I'm in trouble. You can Superpower. You can U-turn. I don't think you'll U-turn. I'm going to go into Rev. If he U-turns, I can try to defog. He's just going to Roost again. Okay. Alright, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to Heat Wave. And then when Blissey comes in, I'm going to taunt. And I'm going to see what your attacking move is. I'm going to force you to show me. Because seeing Rocks and Soft Willed, I knew he was going to have Soft Willed. But seeing Rocks is kind of interesting. Raikou comes out. He's going to take a Heat Wave. I missed my Heat Wave. Awesome. I gotta go into Ziggy. That wouldn't have done a ton, but it would have done something, and I'm really upset that I missed that. He's just gonna Volt Switch, yeah. That's so annoying. Blissey comes back out. I don't know what you're going to do. I'm going to click Drain Punch. Get some health back. 33. Teleport. Raikou comes back out. And I'm going to click U-turn this time. Oh, he's got Toxic. He missed it. Alright, well that's two 90% moves that we missed in a row. I wonder if you're Choice Scarf with Toxic. That's a dangerous assumption to make. If I went into Ruby. I hate so much of everything that's going on. This team is just so incredibly tough to break. I could totally see Scarf Raikou. But if I make that assumption right now, and I go into Ruby, and he goes for Thunderbolt, and I lose a speed tie, and I die, I would never forgive myself. I can also go into Kyall and try to Rapid Spin. I don't want to do that yet, though. I'm going to go back into Cafe. Because if you are locked into top... Oh, no, he's Leftovers. I'm freaking so stupid. Okay, well, I don't know if I just missed that before, if I'm stupid. But let's see what you go for. You're just going to go into Scizor. But you're just going to full switch, so I'm going to leave seed to get my health back. If you go for Aura Sphere too, then you're just going to full switch. Okay. Scizor comes out. I missed my leech seed. Wow. Alright, well, I'm glad that this battle has had no hacks. I love that. You can do a couple of different things here. I can go into Rev. You can U-turn. If you sort Superpower, it shouldn't do that much. Because I went into Rev last time. I need this thing healthy for Mammo. That's the thing. Superpower does under half. And I can lead seed protect and stuff. I'm going to set seeds. He's going to knock off my leftovers. Okay. I hit that lead seed. And I'm going to go in... I can protect. Or I can roost or body press. I'll go for body press. See what he does. If you choose to U-turn out, then you're going to take more barbs. But I am not having fun. I knew this battle was just going to suck, whether I won or I lost. But it's been near 20 minutes, and his team is so healthy. Granted, my team is pretty healthy too, except for poor Kyall over there. But still, I'm in. Yeah, Crobat. Oh, damn! I could have gyro balled. All right, well, hard into Ziggy because you could totally have E-Wave. I can't make that risk. I gotta see something on this guy. Because if I went for gyro ball there, I would have killed this thing, and then it would have been Blacephalon for days. Man, what a goon. I should have gyro balled. That was so obvious that I was just gonna click body press or something. But I know you have Heat Wave. You have to have Heat Wave. You got Toxic on this guy too, then whatever. But I gotta go into... Oh, he's gonna double. Okay. Maybe he was scouting for Gyro Ball and he doesn't have Heat Wave. You know I got Flamethrower. You can U-turn. You can Roost. I want to click Flamethrower so bad. You U-turn, which I know you've got U-turn, man. That would do a lot. Yeah, U-turn does 32 minimum. Flamethrower doesn't even kill. Oh my god. I can just go into Rev. I can do a bunch of stuff. I'm just gonna go into Rev. Oh, he goes into Gliscor on my Flamethrower. That's fine. Again, I can do a billion different things here. None of them are super helpful. I'm going to click Icy Wind on the chance you stay in. I can also slow something else down like that Raikou. If Blissey comes out, I'm going to taunt it. I'm going to make you show me your attacking move. Because you've only got one thing left. Now, if I see Seismic Toss, not Shadow Ball, I'm going to go into Blacephalon, and I'm just going to try to win immediately. Realistically, I don't even care if I lose. If I can just try to make this game be over fast, I'm going to do it. But Infiltrator Crobat is still sitting there. What have I shown him on Torn? I've only seen him shown U-turn, E-Wave. I've shown him no damage since I missed my E-Wave. But let's see. Let's see what happens. Blissey comes out. Icy Wind. I hit it. 6 whole %. Got that rad speed drop. Like taunt. Raikou comes out. Good play. Alright, well he can't Toxic, which means going into Eel is free, so I can use U-turn. I'll take the Volt Switch. And also go into Cafe instead. I'll take less rocks, but that brings out something. I mean, I'll just go back. That was a very good play. He crit me. Doesn't super matter, but it's still annoying. I gotta get these rocks out of here. I gotta get into Y'all and Rapid Spin, because this is not good. And if I had a defog on Torn, this would have been awesome, but I don't. I'm being worn down hard. Gliscor comes out. Yep. I'm gonna U-turn. If I take a Facade, I don't care. I gotta get into Starmie and try to break, maybe. Man, if I had Analytic instead of Natural Cure, I might be able to two-shot that Blissey with a Psyshock in this range. But I don't. Took it off. I'm stupid. Can I get an F for all the people who are watching this live, who are just watching the struggle bus get a flat tire? Like, not even all aboard the struggle bus. Like I tripped and fell trying to get into this struggle bus, and then like I didn't have enough money for the struggle bus. All right, he's gonna SD. That's scary. All right, I can do a couple different things here. I can go into Ruby and click Surf. That will kill. I know it will. Because fully spit F Gliscor. Actually, Gliscor doesn't die to this Surf. Because I'm timid, not modest. I'll mostly kill it, and realistically, Ruby's not doing anything else. So we're going into Ruby. Now I'm clicking Surf. This has an like a 19% chance to kill. If I had Hydro Pump, I would kill, but I don't. So Surf. Blissey just comes out. I should have clicked Psyshock there. That was so obvious. I probably would have killed Blissey had I clicked Psyshock. I'm just not thinking. I'm going to flip turn on the soft boiled, and I'm going to get into Kyall and Rapid Spin. I cannot believe I did that. That was so boneheaded of me. Like, granted, had I clicked Psyshock and he killed me with the Facade, I would have been in a lot of trouble, but that was so just predictable and dumb. Into Kyall hard, and I got to click Rapid Spin. He's going to soft boiled. Yup, now this thing is back at full. He can set those rocks again next time he gets a chance. And this team is pretty much back at full. Scizor comes out, yup. Rapid Spin. I've only seen Roost and Knockoff. He's probably going to Roost. I got to go into Rev, though. Right, Rev comes out. He's going to Roost, yup. If I were to bet, you can just go into Blissey so easy. I'm gonna Heatwave though. I've shown him my full hand. He knows exactly what this thing is doing. No, screw that. I'm not using turn. I don't think you're not gonna stay in for this. There's no way. If you stay in and go for knockoff, I'll cry. Alright, Blissey comes out. That's the thing. Of like, so little has happened. I still know nothing about this team. I couldn't tell you. Like, this thing is an SD set. I don't know what you are. I don't know what you are. You're leftovers. You're just Blissey, and I couldn't tell you what Scizor's job is. I'm gonna go into Ruby. I'm gonna recover. He's probably just gonna teleport out, but I want to see something. I want to try to keep Ruby as healthy as I can. Cover. Teleport. Raikou probably comes out here. It's a speed tie. But realistically, even if I win it, I get nothing out of it. I mean, Raikou probably doesn't take a Psyshock. Psyshock doesn't kill. Crobat comes out. Ziggy's so low. You're just gonna U-turn. I'm gonna go into Rev. Mamo comes out. I gotta go into Cafe. You can click a number of different things. All of them are probably gonna kill me. I've seen no damage. I've seen literally nothing. I'm gonna do it. Let's see what you are. That U-turn. He's not attack invested. So that's definitely nasty bat. Or he's bulky. What did I hit Crow? Why did you? Alright, Pharaoh comes out. Ice Skull Crash. 28. Okay. I can click Leech Seed for recovery. Or I can click Gyro Ball. There's no way in hell you stay in for Gyro Ball. It'll kill you. I'm gonna click Leech Seed. Scizor comes out. I hit my Leech Seed, which is cool. And I'm gonna protect to keep you in here. If you go for U-turn, you can double into something, I don't care. But if you go for a move, I'm gonna get more Leech Seeds back. Because realistically, you get nothing out of, like, Blissey can come in, it'll take a lot. Raikou can come in, Crobat can come in, Mamo. Nothing really wants to take a Gyro Ball. I'm gonna click Gyro Ball. If you stay in and go for something else, then whatever. Like, knock off, you've already knocked off my leftovers. Go just take Barbs and lose other stuff. The best case scenario is he goes into Crobat and this dies to a Gyro Ball. That's the best case scenario. If he's been hiding Superpower this whole time and he shows it to me right now, and I take an ass ton on Cafe and I get nothing out of it, then that's whatever. But, I mean, Gliscor just comes in and he clicks SD or does something. I can go into Torn and try to punish, but this is just excruciating. Like, I legitimately have a headache. And it's 38. That's not horrible. Gotta go into Rev. He's gonna Roost. He's SD, Roost, Facade, EQ. Almost definitely. You know I've got Icy Wind. I'm gonna U-turn. Blissey comes out. Alright. I'm gonna go into Y'all. Scizor can come out. I just gotta click CC. That'll force him to Roost. I can go into Blaze and click C. That's what I gotta make a ballsy play. I'm not gonna win this by being safe. Yep, M-Sizz comes out. Crit. 46. You know what? Click Bullet Punch. I don't think you will. I'm gonna click CC. Please, God. Oh, good play. Oh my God. Back into Rev. He's just gonna U-turn. I'll click Brave Bird. I don't really care. But M-Scizor can't switch into a CC anymore, which means now it's prediction time. I don't understand why you didn't just... He must not have Bullet Punch. I don't know what your set is, but you must not have Bullet Punch. Because you just would have killed me. But the worst thing that happened was what? Like, I got into Rev and you got back into Blissey for the billionth time, where you took like 12% from Barbs. Alright. Brave Bird this time. I'm gonna click U-turn. Gonna Roost. You are U-turn, Brave Burn, Roost. You must have E-Wave. I'm gonna go into Ziggy. Click U-turn. Like, if you don't have Heat Wave, I gotta see Defog. I gotta set hazards. I didn't bring hazards, so I have no way of knowing. He's gotta have Defog in this or Scizor. There's no way he doesn't. I can't imagine you don't have Heat Wave on that thing. Raikou comes out. I've seen Volt Switch, Toxic, I go into Cafe, he gets into Scizor and Roots. Let's see if y'all can kill this thing with a Mach Punch. He might be able to. 41 min. He's gonna have leftovers. He'll be at 44. It's a roll. Oh my god. It is a 68.8 chance. I gotta take it. I don't have a better play. No! 1%. He lived on 1. I'm going into Rev. He's gonna click U-turn. Your choice, Star, if you have to be. I gotta go back to the Cafe. Barrow comes out. Gonna click Ice Bolt Crash. 28. And I'm just gonna. Yeah, Scizor comes out. He's gonna Roost. You know what? I gotta keep it again. I gotta try. Click sub. Blissey comes out. That Crobat didn't have attack investment. There's no way. But I'm a Blacephalon. You're like Jolly. Brave Bird. Might not kill me. I gotta click CM. You're gonna teleport. Yup, Crobat comes out. His last move could be Crunch. This is a unless he's got. Does this thing get Dark Pulse? I know it gets Dark. Fuck it. I'm just gonna click Side Shock. Brave Bird. He got a max roll. I don't know what else to say. There was a 6% chance that was gonna kill me. That was a 6% chance. Unless he's Sharp Beak, that was a 6% chance. Oh, I've lost. I've completely lost. I cannot believe that just happened. Unbelievable. I can't believe I just lost it. If I calc something wrong, if this thing is like Sharp Beak or something, there's no way he's not. He didn't have attack investment. There's no way he did. From the damage he did to Torn earlier. But it's over. But I can't beat Blissey. Going to Ruby. I'm gonna click flip turn. Yeah, Blissey comes out. Going to Kyall. Click CC. Honestly, screw it. I'm gonna click Axel this time just for shits and giggles. I don't care, man. Send out Crobat this time. Just get one hit on Axel, please do it. Yeah, I can't believe it. I missed Raikou on 1. There's the bullet point. She does have it. Ammo comes out this time. It's not good. I got a burn. That's kind of clutch. I'm going to Ruby this time. He knocks off and whatever. I mean, I've lost. Only I was analytic. Maybe I had a chance. Probably not. Also going to Ziggy out. Like, there was just so little I think I could have done in this match. My team just didn't have the tools. Unfortunately. The only chance I had was that Blacephalon. And if I am missing something, and that wasn't a literal 6% chance to kill me, then okay. But that thing was a bulky pivot. There's no way that wasn't Boots. He didn't have attack investment. I calced it. Unless he's got like a tiny bit, but even if he had a tiny bit, like if he's like max speed crept on Torn and then the rest thrown into attack, that still would have been like a 15% chance to kill. Alright, Ruby's coming out. He's gonna knock off. The off chance this doesn't kill, I'm gonna recover. I'm gonna click Side Shock. 32. That isn't decent. He's gonna set his rocks again. Alright, you're just gonna frickin' flip turn out. Going to Kyall. Not foiled. I'll click CC. What the hell? Maybe you stay in and try to kill me with Seismic Toss on my Rapid Spin. The potential of me possibly killing this Blissey is so much better than having rocks here. I don't care. 49. See how much Mach Punch does. Not enough, but crit Mach Punch. Crit Mach Punch might kill. Yeah, I'll click it. Why not? Oh! That wasn't a crit, but I calced something wrong. I don't know how that killed. I literally have no idea. For my calc, that did. Oh, he's not impish. He's calm. That was a max roll. That was a max roll. Alright. Well. I got rid of the one thing holding Kyall back, but he can't get back on the field. Oh, I'm going to cry. That was the only thing holding Kyall back, but I literally cannot get him back on the field. I'm going to go back into Rev. Just to try to preserve him for a sack later. Alright, well I'm going to taunt. See what he does. Rising Toss. Oh, man. Now Blissey can just wall out the rest of this damn team. Pink. Right, I'm going to go sack off Kyall and try to get Cafe in to get Leech Seeds up and do some Leech Seed Protects on me to try to get health back. That's what I'm going to do. Kyall comes in. Rip my boy, but whatever. Cafe's going to come out. I got to click a Leech Seed. Gliscor comes out. I'm gonna protect. You're just gonna SD. I mean, you could have Fire Fang. I don't think you have Fire Fang. Bro, see no damage. I've seen nothing on Gliscor so far. You're uninvested, a +2. Thing doesn't do too much. Fireball is a decent chunk. I'll click it. Oh, Crobat comes out. Die. Only 54. Are you kidding me? That was underwhelming. I don't know how that did so little. I'm a min speed Ferrothorn. What? I'm gonna protect. Oh, he's gonna roost. I still think your last move is defog, but I don't know, so I'm gonna go into rev. You're just gonna U-turn. You're gonna get back into literally anything, and you're gonna kill me. Because he's just gonna keep U-turning so he doesn't reveal Heat Wave. Because I just... My spirits are literally broken. Come on. I'm gonna U-turn. Cover. While we're all dying, look at how cute my new Oshawott is. We do it for Oshawott. Seismic Toss. Oh, it's gone. He's got so much PP, I lose this stall, even if I wanted to do it, which I don't. I'll flip turn on the teleport, why not? Going to rev. Ammo comes out. I'm just gonna U-turn. You definitely can't kill me. I'm gonna regen. Gonna knock off my boots out this way. Yeah, now it's Mega over. I forgot he had knockoff. That was a good play. But whatever. I can't believe I... Had that Blacephalon not died, I would have been in a good spot. I would have been behind a sub. I would have killed something else. I could have started trying to do some stuff. Like, if I'm missing something, then okay, but if I lost a 6% roll, I will never. I don't know. Psyshock. Telly. Throwback comes out. I'm gonna click Psyshock. I'm gonna click Recover. You U-turn, cool. I'm gonna recover it off. See again, had I had Analytic, how'd I just click Psyshock there? I might have killed 2 of them. But I chose Natural Cure because I expected Thunder Wave, but he brought rocks. I'll Psyshock this time. Like, I think my only way I win is if I crit. I don't even think a crit will kill. I did 31. Enough flip turn into Cafe. Seed. He just sacks off. He just should probably sack off Raikou or Ammo at this point. But I just gotta get Cafe into a one-on-one with Blissey. That's my win con, because I can win that. Or if I was like Iron Defense Body Press, which I almost brought, I could maybe 1v1 that Gliscor if he doesn't have Fire Fang. But he's probably just Wasadi too. Because he needs something to hit Electros. Yeah, Gliscor comes back out. Set my seeds. We're going to Rev. I can also protect, but if he SDs, then I don't have a career. I can sack off the US. No, I think healing up Cafe safer is worth it. Protect. He's going to EQ. Perfect. I'm going to get some more Leech Seed back. He's going to SD this time, so I'm going to go into Rev. Rev comes out. Oh, he goes for Facade. So you know I've got Icy Wind. You're just going to go into Blissey, so I'm going to U-turn. Go into Cafe again. Hate Gliscor. I think click Gyro Ball this time. See how much it does. I'll go into Ziggy and try to stack it.
Two hours later.
Go into Blissey, please. No, he's gonna sack Rock Google play. Well, he almost made a catastrophic error, but he didn't. I got it down to 4, which is sick.
Two more hours later.
Well, I've hated this experience. I will willingly say that I don't think I deserve this to go that way. I got a 6%. I got a 6% chance it didn't go my way. I deserve more than that. And I will look at the camera and say, "Fuck you, stall players." I don't know what you get out of this. Like, you just made me sit at my computer for an hour and a half. Literally. Like, why? I don't get it. Just fucking kill me. Well, if I go learn something different about that Crobat set, then it makes me feel differently, then whatever. But otherwise, I feel cheated. Okay. It was a roll. It was in his favor. It was around. It was a 56% chance. So, not 6%, but still a toss of a coin. Well, I don't even know if this is going up at this point. So, if I posted this and you guys watched it for some stupid reason, thank you guys so much for doing so. It's an incredible show of support for you to watch such a trash bag battle. But we'll be back next week in the PCC. We got much more exciting games, I assure you. So, thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you in the next one.